Edward, thank you very much. And with that, we're glad to bring in the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick. Secretary, good to have you with us. Welcome. Welcome to the story.
Great to be here today. Great
to see you. So what about that? You said on CBS that President Trump wants no taxes on people making below $150,000 annually, and our sources are saying that the Treasury Department doesn't have any plan to put that into action.
No, that's taking it out of context. What we discussed was when the president balances the budget, his first move is going to be, he has suggested that he would like to waive taxes for people under $150,000. That's aspirational, that when we balance the budget. And let me tell you, he's got a plan to balance this budget, right? We are going to take $1 trillion out of the waste, fraud, and abuse of all of our entitlements and all of our systems and all of our waste. And then we are going to raise $1 trillion. That's the Trump card. The Trump gold card is going to be a huge revenue producer. Tariffs are going to be a huge revenue producer. And then getting rid of all the tax scams like Ireland making $75 billion budget surplus. We've got all the ships of the world having Liberian. I mean, imagine a Liberian flag so they get out of paying U.S. taxes. You cut all that stuff out. You got a balanced budget. But on the way, we're going to cut no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security.
So when should Americans expect a balanced budget by? What is the goal on that, Howard?
I love that question. Think about it. Our objective is during President Trump's term, over the next 4 years, we are going to try to balance the budget. Now, obviously, the sooner we balance that budget, the more we can all enjoy the possibilities that exist under Donald Trump's presidency. You know, he would like to replace the Internal Revenue Service with the External Revenue Service and let all those countries who just lean on our economy. So sometime in the next 4 years, you're saying? It could take as long as 4 years, but oh, no, I don't want it to take 4 years. Okay. We want it to take 3. We want it to take 3, and obviously, aspirationally, I'd really like it to take 2, so that he has the last 2 years to hammer away, get rid of the Internal Revenue Service, and start to replace it with the External Revenue Service.
A balanced budget. But just to be clear on this, you said that no taxes for people under $150,000. So you're saying that could happen in the next 2 years. So I'm just looking at the numbers here. The bottom 90% of the U.S. tax base is people under around $150,000. That's the way they lay it out. That is $531 billion in federal taxes. It's a quarter of all federal tax revenue. So you're saying in 2 years we could be in a position where people who make under $150K will pay no taxes in America?
Well, this is aspirational, right? When we balance the budget, that is a move that the president has on his mind and that he has discussed. Balance the budget, and then let's take care of all of the people. Like you said, the 90% of Americans who are 150,000 or less. That's why they elected Donald Trump. That's why you've got Elon Musk and Doge. You know, everybody forgets why if you take $1 trillion out of the waste, fraud, and abuse of our systems, and then you have the tariffs leading, what Donald Trump is leading with, and then you produce drill, baby, drill, right? And then you have the Trump card probably raising between $500 billion and $1 trillion a year. You've got a balanced budget. You've got a fundamental change of America.
The Trump gold card so far, Howard? How many people?
Well, we're going to announce over the next 2 weeks a pilot program, which is going to help Congress be able to score that in and help this reconciliation bill. But we expect tens of thousands. I mean, just the inquiries I've had, tens of thousands of applications at $5 million each. We are working our tails off to balance the budget for the American people and for Donald Trump. That's why they elected Donald Trump, and he is working really hard at it.
You say the goal is in the first 2 years. That would be when the midterm comes up, so that would be a pretty big deal. Let me ask you about this. I want to play this because Doug Ford and you are about to meet, correct? The premier from Ontario. A lot of heated conversation going back and forth. I should point out to people
Doug Ford is coming, and the Minister of Finance is coming. So the central government is coming as well.
So Doug Ford was always a big Trump fan, but now he's saying that he feels that the United States has turned the guns on their closest ally. He says it's so disappointing. I'm sure you're going to hear some of this in a few minutes from him, that the U.S. is attacking the families of Canada, the food on their tables. But here, let's go to call for number 1, the back and forth between President Trump today and Doug Ford. Watch.
We don't need their cars. We don't need their energy. We don't need their lumber. We don't need anything they have.
We're your largest customer. There's no one that buys more products off the United States than we do. You're going to be paying a lot more for everything right across the board because you can't get aluminum anywhere else. You only produce 16% of your aluminum. We ship in over 60%. So anything that has aluminum, you're going to pay more.
So he's saying that Americans are going to pay more and that Canada is one of our most important trading partners, which, has always been the case.
So you have to remember, Canada exists leaning on our economy. I mean, let's face it, cars used to be made in America. Why did Michigan's cars move to Canada to break out of the UAW? I mean, that's just unfair to American workers and American union workers. It's just, you finally have Donald Trump's got their back and is wondering why are cars made in Canada? Why are we doing all this business in Canada if they're not respectful, if they're not thankful, and they don't want to do it? Imagine a provincial leader, so like the equivalent of a governor, deciding that they're going to attack America and put a 25% increase on energy prices to teach Donald Trump a lesson. I guess what happened? He learned a lesson. We're going to come in and talk, but what should you expect? You should expect exactly what you heard President Trump said today. What are you doing for us? I know what we're doing for you, but what are you doing for us? And I think that's the right way to look at it. That's our president's way of looking at it, and that's what you should expect.
So why not just eliminate the tariffs between Canada and the United States? Is that a place that we can get to? Because I mean, it's mind-boggling. Like 25%. No, it's going to be 50%. No, we're back to 25%.
That would
why
be
not
true
just
if this
eliminate
was
all the
Fox.
tariffs?
That would be true if you were Fox Canada. That Fox Canada would like that, but Fox
I'm just
USA.
asking the question. So I heard President Trump moments ago say $200 million we send in aid essentially to Canada. So are we going to eliminate that? I mean, tell me what the starting points are. That's what I want to know.
The starting point is we care about America first. We care about American workers first, and we want to bring back those jobs to America. So we're going to bring back more and more jobs to America. We don't want to buy 60% of our aluminum from Canada. We want to bring it to America. We want the cars to America. We want to make America great first. Then we can worry about Canada, and that's the message. America first, then we worry about Canada,
I just have a few
not
seconds,
Canada
and
first.
Tell me, how quickly can you build up enough factories to cover that aluminum in the United States? How quickly?
Well, let's talk about cars for a second. Under Trump, we had 80% utilization of cars in America, and under Biden, it went down to 60. We've got 40. We've got 2/3 capacity in America. We're going to bring back car manufacturing now.
Well, I think everybody would like to see that. Howard Lutnick, thank you very much. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us. Have a great meeting. We'll be covering it.